Oh, wow. Welcome back once again. Woo! And we back. Derby Day, baby. Let's go. We got a lot to talk about today. Welcome to the three people viewing, three likes, three shares. Get this word out. We 21 minutes in. I've been streaming, getting ready to kick off the Kentucky Derby Day, Kentucky Fried Derby Day decode for you all. And let's get started on that. Been going over my notes, and let's go ahead and get started on the run for the roses. We see today as Experience Forever in a Day, Champions Day, Kentucky Fried Derby Day, that happens in Louisville, Kentucky. And we know today is a very powerful day. So, welcome all. It's time to kick off the most celebrated and prestigious horse race in the United States of America, arguably the world. The Kentucky Derby this year takes place on today, May 6, 5-6. The first Saturday in 2023. On this very day, we see a once in a lifetime historic event of the crowning of a new British monarch. Taking place today at 6 a.m. Eastern, we saw the coronation of King Charles III, who we see has made his pilgrimage all the way from England to, well, what do you know, Churchill Downs in Louisville, Kentucky, the home of the Kentucky Fried Derby. Today is known as Derby Day, or Americans call it Derby Day, but Britons call it Derby Day from my research. But it's a double entendre. D-Day, the most powerful name and title for the 1944 Normandy landings invasion that happened on June 6 by United States President Franklin D-Day Roosevelt. And remember, the Kentucky Derby is also known for being named as the Run for the Roses. And that's why we see the Kentucky Derby sharing the rose symbol. And that's why they throw the roses to the winner. Remember that. And then we saw this battle in 1944 between Britain's very own Winston Churchill, like as in Churchill Downs, the home of the Kentucky Derby. The primary symbol that will connect everything together in this decode is the horse, ladies and gentlemen. So pay attention to that moving forward. We know that Peyton Manning has made his way all the way from the NFL football field to the racetrack because he played for two NFL teams before he retired in 2015 and then was, well, inducted into Hall of Fame in 2021. Pay attention to that 21 moving forward, okay? But he played for two horse-based teams, the Indianapolis Colts and the Denver Broncos. And I do not think that this was a coincidence at all. What connects Peyton Manning's to today's 5-6 May 6 Kentucky Derby and King Charles's coronation? Well, it's his famous signature audible call, Omaha, 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 which we know ties us into the Kentucky Derby and the number 3 American Triple Crown winner, which was Omaha, who won 9 of his 22 races. This horse was born on the same day as Peyton Manning, March 24th, but 44 years earlier. And we were just talking about Normandy and D-Day. And, well, that happened in 1944. So very important. So Peyton Manning was born 44 years after this horse. And he said, Omaha, 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 44 times in his 2014 win against San Diego Chargers and Phillip Rivers. Phillip tying us into King Charles, tying us into Phillip being a term that means friend of horses. And Peyton Manning played for Phillip Fulmer at Tennessee in college. So very important. Peyton Manning said Omaha 44 times. He's 44 years younger than Omaha, the horse, the Triple Crown winner. Okay? If you take Peyton Manning's birthday almost 2 months ago and tie it into today, it was 44 days ago. 3/24, 2023. Counting the days to the day, 44 days. Revelations 5:6, and today is 5:6, talks about the four horsemen, which is why I will give you my four horsemen picks of the day and my top horse to win the race, and who I'm thinking by the code of numerology and gematria will win the Kentucky Derby today. So we all know. Let's get into the decode. There was the Kentucky Derby tying us into 5-6 today, 56, tying us into Indianapolis, who the Colts, who Peyton Manning played for, 5-6, tying us into the 56 we get in the Denver Broncos, 56. Again, just being a real big Colt group, tying us into the Royal Family Colt we're going to see today, that very powerful 137 that ties us into the 33rd prime number, that ties us into the 33 we get in King Charles and his coronation today. So very important. Tying us into D-Day, Normandy. Yes, it was June 6th, but June is really the 6th month, or the 4th month, and the 6th day. Internationally written 6-4. Remember that. But tying us into Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency markets that we're seeing volatile price action in on the Kentucky Derby day, because Bitcoin ties us into 56. We've been shorting Pepe, getting ready to, hopefully make some more profits soon. Right now, we're in a negative of 5%, but hey, this level is our reversal level. And if we start to close candles on the 1 minute time frame above that, we're going to hit reversal or flash close. And we're going to assess the market from there. Okay. So we might break even or we might break a little in the low, but we've already made money short in Pepe today. Okay. So very important. All right. Let's keep an eye on this moving forward. But we know Washington, D.C. gives us that same 56. Oh, wow. BTC, Washington, D.C. That's not what I meant to say. When I was getting this decode ready in the background, waiting on some fellow decoders that may join. But that's amazing find right there. Sometimes you make some amazing finds just on accident. But 137 being the 33rd prime number, 56, that 187 we were getting in Kentucky Derby today. Okay, so very important. Washington, D.C. giving us that 56, tying us into the most powerful mind control beings on the world, 137, 56. Just distracting us from understanding that we are the tree of life, ladies and gentlemen. It only takes an eye of Horus and an eye of Ra combined together to unlock your Ajni chakra so you can realign your moral compass, your sixth chakra, your seventh chakra, okay? Your pineal gland, okay? Your master power center. But it's tying us into the light that we are, because we need to understand that let there be light. 1 times 56 is 56, tying us into May Day today, 56, okay, 5-6. The 56 we get in Chaldean, tying us into the 56 we get in Champions Day. Today is also known as Champions Day, D-Day, Derby Day, okay? And then we bring in Omaha, tying us into the number 18, Peyton Manning, who said it 44 times, tying us into the 44-year-old separation of the horse Omaha. So very powerful. Omaha giving us 38. So does Poseidon, which is Neptune. Neptune is also known as, well, the god of horses and, horse racing. So very important. That same 38, that 119, that 43. That 43 we get in Charlie. Oh, where'd Charlie go? It didn't go down here, you guys. My bad. King Charles today, 43, 38, 56. Okay. And we know that not only was a part of Normandy Beach called Omaha, but there was also a fraction of the beach called Charlie, tying us into today and these two characters. Okay, so very important. All right. Oh, all right. So going back to Poseidon and Neptune, the two planets and gods of the sea. Okay, and right before this, well, event on um of well, Louisville, Kentucky event, there was a bank shooting tying us into like river banks. Banks are tied to the river, the currency. Okay. It's all maritime admiralty law. Okay. So very important. Just tying us into banks here. But going back to Poseidon and the King of the Sea, yesterday was the eclipse, the lunar eclipse on Cinco de Mayo, 5-5. But eclipsed the sun, which we saw yesterday, giving us 56, tying us into Louisville, that gave us 38, or the 134 we know we get in King Charles, right here, the third. This is so very important. Okay. May 6th is today, giving us that 119 we get in Poseidon. Okay. Or all seeing eye. Okay. Where'd that go? Okay. The all seeing eye, ladies and gentlemen, the eye of providence. Boom. 119. Same 119 we got in May 6th today in Poseidon. Today is also known for Run for the Roses, tying us into, well, the 75 we get in cryptocurrency, the 64 we talked about on D-Day, the true date, numerology date, and 75 we get in, or the 201 we get in, well, tying us into the Pope, or event 201. The Pope stays in suite 201. His name, when you type it out, Giorgio Mario Bergoglio, gives you 201. Okay? So very important. But today is also known as America's Day at the Races, giving us that very powerful 134. Okay? Awesome. So Normandy landings D-Day gives us that 322, tying us into Skull and Bones. Order 322, or the Brotherhood of Death. So very important. Pay attention to these guys moving forward as I give you my top 4 picks and horses to win the Kentucky Derby today. Okay, so very important. We're about 50 minutes away from the kickoff of the Kentucky Fried Derby. Let me know who you'd like to win the race today. Let me know who your favorite horse is and your favorite 4 horsemen in the comment section down below. Let's go. Let me see if our fellow decoders are. Oh, add to stream. Let's go. Divine Vortex in the house. Let's go.
What's up, my peoples?
How are you?
Chillin' on this Saturn day.
Yeah, this beautiful Saturn Day special we've got going on, tying us into the Kentucky Derby.
It's so amazing though. Like the days that they pick for these rituals, it's really mind-boggling to be honest. I mean, like you know about it, but you still like amazed that they really do carry on with this every year,
Right,
and people are none the wiser.
right. Well, it's 11/11, D. Let's manifest today. But do you see anything astrology wise with the days that that the Kentucky Derby fell on, the coronation of the king? Do you see some coronation here to why
So
they picked this day?
I'm going to pull the chart. Let me pull the chart for the coronation, right? I didn't
Okay,
have that available, but I can pull it up.
okay,
You can carry on. I'll let you know
yeah,
once it's ready.
no problem. Because I'm sure our viewers would love that. I just noticed, and I didn't notice this earlier, but this picture that I snapshotted, it's 2 days and 23 minutes and however whatever away. But that's the 223 that I was just talking about in Normandy landings that tied us into D-Day and Derby Day, or Franklin D. Roosevelt and the roses, the run for the roses, tying us into the roses they throw to the horse and the jockey after, well, they win today. So I don't know. I just saw that, thought it's crazy because that 223 322 number is my number. Uh oh.
So, according to this, the coronation services are actually going to be 3 days. The festivities are 3 days long. So
Right.
this will be quite interesting because I did expect some downturn from the 5th through the 8th, and it kind of coincides with the fact that this celebration is going to be 3 days long. I
Hmm.
expect a V possible V reversion on the 8th.
Yeah, like a downtrend into like some kind of bottom and V-shaped recovery into the eighth.
Yeah, but I'm going to confirm that with some astrology. I'm just trying to read on this coronation
Right.
celebrities, which I find quite interesting that the dates and the times match. Like, for example, it says that the services will start on Saturday at 11 a.m. local time.
Oh, that just started. I
Well,
mean, if
local
local
time,
time is Eastern, I don't know.
no, their local time I think is GM, so it probably already started. They
Yeah,
are.
earlier I was reading an article yesterday on 6 a.m. Eastern, so maybe that's local time. That's when the coronation for the king was happening. That one article I read said.
Hmm, very cool stuff. Let's plug this into a chart.
I'm gonna pull this out now. See if we come back and retest this descending wedge, because this volatility today isn't surprising to me at all. Not after seeing Bitcoin over the last few days basically enter a rising channel. And I talked about it last night in my video. But that's a 68% chance mathematically of a breakdown. So a great shorting opportunity, which is why I was taking advantage of shorting Pepe. Um, oh, okay. I had to flash close that real quick. I'm down a little bit. It's okay. Only $3. I turned 80 into 97 already, so not bad. Um, I did that off of one short on Pepe. So yeah,
I
just waiting
mean,
on Derby Day to start.
that was really clever to short it because
Yeah, I gave three warnings to people. One right back here when we broke past the close to the 4.236. Um, Actually, we did. I just don't have this pulled correctly. Right there. Um, but right here, I gave a warning, and then we broke to 223, 0.5 zeros, and a 223, and I gave another warning in communities and etc. And then we just kept going up. And this is just to your fork. This is a blow off top. This is de-risking, and you're never going to get the top. And that's why I was prematurely giving orders for people all over crypto Twitter, Discords. I did a live with Modern Sword, and I was talking about it. I don't know how high it's going to go. I knew I wasn't going to get the top, but now I believe we're going to watch this drain back down 90, 85, 99%. And most people are probably just now buying in thinking it's going to keep going. And I've seen this happen time and time again because today was the major day that we saw Binance and Bitrue and KuCoin and all these other exchanges list this coin. And what happens then? Usually people get rug pulled.
hmm,
Yeah.
interesting.
Yes. Yeah. And it hit 2,500%. Pepe the Frog, and it was pumping all the way into 5-2 May 2nd. And Pepe Frog equals 52. And then it pumped all the way through May 4th. May the 4th equals 52 as well. Um, so does cryptocurrency. So we got a lot of major connections, but it pumped up 2,500% as above, so below in the year of the rabbit. We all know rabbit equals 25 and 52 as well. So I was like, yeah, I'm not even surprised.
Interesting.
Yes. And now I guess since I got someone here, I'll go ahead and share with the audience, my bets on who's going to win the horse race today and get the roses. I put $20 on Cyclone Mischief, the number 21 horse in the race. Going to come from the outside and have to start off very fast and cutting off a lot of other horses to get there. Okay. And then I went with 7, the horse number 7, the very powerful number 7 Shemitah year that we exited out of last year. The 70-year biblical or platinum jubilee of the Queen, drop the 0, you get the 7. So I'm tying in that 7 number, that biblical number right here, and the fact that the 7 horse is called Reincarnate. And I put $10 for a potential $200 win. The $20 risk that I put on Cyclone Mischief is gonna possibly win me 800. And then I went with the number 13 horse, that very powerful 13 bloodlines, or that ties into the royal family, or the death card in Tarot, that might kill all other horses in the race today, called Sun Thunder. Tying us into the sun, the very powerful. Without the sun, there is no reincarnation, there is no photosynthesis, no life. So, maybe the sun causes some thunder in the race today. Put a $5 bet and win 250 on that. And the number 5 horse, because we're in May, coming out the 5th day and the lunar eclipse. Well, tap it twice. I put a $3.38 bet to possibly win 16 if I win. So now, no matter what happens, whatever horse wins, if I win, I lose all other 3 bets. So that's one thing to keep in mind. So, only threw $38 in there to play with. Not bad. Or 48, something like that. Yeah. So, I'm hoping Cyclone Mischief wins, because if you go back to, well, Louisville, which is where the Derby is today, their AAA baseball team is the Louisville Bats. And there was a shooting 2 months ago right outside of this stadium, right beside the riverbank of Ohio River. And, well, we know banks are tied to currency. And we've seen, well, bank shortages and failures all year, the past couple months. So I've made that connection to the Bats of Louisville, and they play in Omaha today, and they play the Omaha Storm Chasers. And last night, when I was making this decode, it was during tornado season from April to June, sometimes as early as March, and sometimes later than June to July. But the Carolina Hurricanes were, well, beating the Devils last night. Um, and this is the red, black, and white we had in the Chiefs, the Georgia Bulldogs that won, the Chiefs that won the Super Bowl. San Diego State had red, black, and white. They made it to the NCAA championship, but then they lost to, well, Yale University, or Connecticut, which is in, tying us into Yale University, which is in Connecticut. And they have the crest of the red, black, and white, tying us into the world's first bankers of the Knights Templar. So pretty important. And that's where I got the Omega connection, the horseshoe, to the Colts and Peyton Manning, who played for the Colts, and then the Denver Broncos, and he won Super Bowls at both teams. And we're heading into the 24-year Omega as the 24th letter in the Greek alphabet. So it's tying into the day, the horse day, and the Broncos won the 1998 Super Bowl. That's important because dang, I forget. I might think of it in a minute. That was under John Elway, my favorite quarterback all time when I watched football. But I'll think about it in a minute. But it got me to Cyclone Mischief being my number 1 pick for today. And when you type out Cyclone Mischief and do a decode, you get a very powerful 149. And today is the 149th Kentucky Derby, giving you that very powerful 76 that we get in Skull and Bones. The same 149 we get in Skull and Bones, Yale University, Connecticut. 76, 149. Cyclone Mischief had, oh wow, it was a 40-1. Now it's 49-1 odds to win D Vortex. That's 149, but a mix up, an anagram.
Right.
So that's the 149 that you get in Skull and Bones or Cyclone Mischief in the 149th Kentucky Derby today.
It's crazy.
So yeah, that is crazy. So that's who my number 1 horse is to win today. And the owner of this horse ties us into the Romans and the Greek gods, etc. Neptune and Poseidon, going back to Neptune, which Neptune is known as the god of horse races, etc. But I forget his name. His last name is Romans, the owner of this horse. So that's why I decided to pick that guy today to win. And you can't hurt with a plus 4,000 odds if you win. Turn 20 into 800.
Right.
Right.
Wow. So I was looking here at the astrology, and at 7:38 a.m. we had the moon at what we call a void of course. And I know that sounds kind of funny, but a void of course is, what it means is whatever transits are going on, um, there's no transits that are affecting the moon. So whatever the moon's power or whatever the moon's energy is at that time, it's basically unaffected. So it at its most powerful, you can say at its more pure. So of course, as you will know, we are experiencing the eclipse and we're experiencing a full moon. So based on what we know about the moon cycles, those are draining energies, right? They're energies that take away, energies that remove things. In that case, we see that as a negative impact on the market. So, of course, at 7:38 a.m. this morning, the moon was void of course. And if you probably put your marker there on your chart at 7 or 7:30 a.m., I know you're on a 2 hour time frame, but if you go maybe to the 30-minute time frame,
I'm
or
gonna go to
yeah,
the
you
one
can do
minute.
the 1 minute, sure. So look around 7:38, and you'll see that that's where the drop started. Like if you would have gotten in at that time for a short, that would have been lovely.
I was I was literally in Pepe shorting already prior to this 738 pump, like dump. I mean, like
Yeah, you
I
see
was because
that?
most exchanges were getting a listing at 8 o'clock this morning, but I
Right,
got in. I just used a VPN and got in earlier.
right. And so as you can see, astrology just doesn't lie.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
If you had a bunch of up and down craziness up until the moon got into the void of course, if you notice, right? Because the moon was being affected by other transits, right? Other things happening. And but you always want to look to see where when the moon is void of course. If you look, it's exactly like 7:39, 7:38. So it kicked in at 7:38. You got in at 7:39. You would have been in good standing.
Right. Wow. Crazy. That is ridiculous, D.
Pretty
That's a
wild,
great
right?
find. That is a great find. Because
Yeah.
I
And
mean,
I mean, there's so many things
three
about
two two.
astrology.
Oh my no. D, you don't even know this 322% down is. Look, today is going back to last year and the end of the Shemitah and the start of the Jubilee and start of Rosh Hashanah. This is the 223rd day of the Jewish Hebrew New Year today.
Right.
Like, there's no denying that Skull and Bones is all around this number. Or, well, it's not really that. It's just math. It's the 13th Lucas number. And they know this. So, that's just phenomenal, D.
I mean, it's pretty incredible how these numbers work.
Yeah, I'm downloading that
And
image.
we're gonna have two by the way, these times are Eastern Standard, but um on Sunday, so tomorrow,
Right.
at 2:12 a.m., we're going to have the moon squaring Saturn. And
Okay.
so if we're going to see another leg down, it will probably be around then.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I will watch price between, you know, uh between 11 p.m. on Saturday and 2 a.m. And depending on your setups, you know, if you see another descent or another leg down, that's another time that you can potentially, get in, um, for some, for some price action. But of course, that's not financial advice. That's just
Correct.
astrology.
Of course not. Of course it's
Yeah,
not.
I mean, we're seeing we have the moon, doing its thing. It's in transits with Saturn at 2 uh 12 a.m. It's also in transit with Mercury at 2:58, and
Wow.
it's also on transit with Taurus at 9:50 p.m. So I mean, it's just basically going to be um, one busy planet. Well, it's not a planet, but one busy moon. In between now and the end of Sunday.
Right. Huh.
So
Well,
I
thank you,
will
dude. That's
watch.
so very
Yeah, I
interesting.
will watch for 12, 11. I'm sorry. I will watch for 2:12 a.m., 5:58 a.m. Also, 9:50 p.m. and 10:36 p.m. Um, those are
Uh-uh.
times to watch today. Additionally,
You
Venus
said
and
10:36.
yeah, p.m.
That's crazy. Because the full moon on May 6th happened at 1:36 p.m. Dropped to 0 and 10, and that's 136. That's
Right,
the flower moon, tying us into the flower stone at the Kentucky Derby.
exactly.
Crazy.
And the moon is void, of course, again on 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 May 8th, as I mentioned, and it's a trine. It's a trine with Jupiter. So that's a beautiful. It's oh my God. Okay, so hold up. Yep, here we go. So the moon is trining. So the moon is in Jupiter. I'm sorry. The moon is in Sagittarius, trining Jupiter in Taurus, and um, Sagittarius is the home of Jupiter, and so it's
Huh.
in a good position when it's trining its own home, and it's in the sign of Taurus. And of course, Taurus represents wealth and represents beauty and represents, everything we value, money, financial systems, all of that. And so it's void, of course, at 1:28. No, I'm sorry, 4:28 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if I expect a reversal, it would be at 4:28 p.m. on May 8th on Monday.
All right, I've been writing all these down. Because, I'm always in and out. I like to view, but I like numbers too,
Yeah. And if
and
you
these are
and
powerful
we
connections.
might
I don't
we
deny
might
them.
see a volatility, perhaps a stop hunt at 7:30 p.m. because the moon enters Capricorn, and the moon in Capricorn usually is a positive aspect for the market. Um, so they might try to stop hunt in the opposite direction just to like knock out all of the longs before actually going back up. So 4:28 p.m. and 7:33 p.m. are two things to look at.
All right. Huh. Well, thank you, D. I appreciate that. Because all of it's blowing my mind, to be honest. And I'm going to have to sit down and now decode it and take it into consideration with my trading and approach to the markets, the work that I do. So, yeah, you just gave me some homework.
Yeah, no,
It's
for
my off day.
sure.
I'll open the next 3 days. What are you doing?
Something else to look at is on Monday as well, the moon already in Capricorn is going to be opposite Venus in Cancer at 10:20 p.m. And why this is significant is because Venus, it's the moon is typically considered the planet of Cancer, but it's going to be in opposition to its own house. So, again, perhaps some volatility around that time. So just make sure once, if you enter, any kind of position, in this case, we're talking about a positive aspect at 4:28 p.m. Make sure you have your stop losses. Make sure you have your trailing stops that, if you're in profit, move your stop loss up between 7:30 and 10:20 p.m. that evening before you go to bed if you're going to leave your trade open.
Right.
Again,
Yeah, I hardly ever leave
financial
them open.
advice, but just times
Yeah.
to watch.
Unless I'm trading on a macro view, my trades are never open like that. Like I'm like that's why I keep zooming back to Pepe right now, seeing if we break this top side, what is I'm considering a bear pennant, kind of like a bear flag or a rising channel, that might have a 68% chance to continue to break down. So I'll wait for a confirmed, rejection. Pay attention to my moving averages. Probably pull up another, um, VPVR, but a more controlled one, and see what I'm seeing right now. If we keep getting rejection from this 702 on the 1 minute time frame from this previous high to low, I'm gonna get ready to short the market again. Not financial advice. Yeah, and look at that, the 322 exponential moving average on the 1 minute. We're just in between both of those, the yellow and the blue. I know they're hard to see, but I bet if I did that, there we go. But yeah, so
Very cool. So,
yeah,
um, the moon, so moon void of course, it's in the original. I think I have, let me see, I'm trying to do ciphers. Let's see, reverse squares, reverse primes. So it's interesting because it has a reduction of 83, which is the reverse of 38. And we know that the 38 is a number associated with a lot of, um, end of cycles and negative aspects in the market. So it's interesting to see that also. I think the reverse prime is 720, which is 72. And what do we associate 72 with? 27, which is currency, right?
Bitcoin 72, yeah,
Right.
currency, like
And of
digital
course,
currency.
we talked about the 136, right? One, like 1 o'clock, I think 136 you said before. What did you refer
Yes,
to?
1:36 p.m.
Right. So in
and that was the
Fibonacci,
flower
it's
moon.
okay. So in Fibonacci, moon void of course is 1306.
Hmm.
You can put in your demonstrator and just look at it. You can share that, but
What's that?
it's moon void of course. Moonvoidofcourse.
223. You got to be playing with me, D.
I'm
Like
not.
you,
I'm not. I was waiting for you to see that yourself. I
people are gonna
wasn't
think
even
we
gonna
planned
say.
this.
No, I mean, look at it. It's in your face.
It is right in my face. Skull and bones, baby. In a 223 year. Let us know. The most powerful 223 connection people need to understand is that, well, they are the ascended master if they want to be, or they can choose to be, the devil. But you are the ascended master. Oh, I spelled
Yeah,
it with two C's. But yeah, 223 in the same
that's
cipher
some
too.
wild ass shit.
Yeah. King Charles is 74 today, getting coronated. I don't think he'll be around much longer. Energy 74. Again, you can
Right.
either be Jesus down here, like I just showed you, or you can be Lucifer, period, 74. The 38 we get in Charlie, 43, we get in Charlie because a fraction of D Day and the beaches that were invaded back on 1944 was called Charlie on a part of the beach that was called Omaha. Omaha, Omaha. Ties us into Peyton Manning, and the third winning horse in the American Triple Crown was called Omaha. So that's right here that I was sharing in the decode earlier. This was a real horse that was born 44 years before Peyton Manning, and Peyton Manning said Omaha, Omaha, Omaha 44 times in his 2014 playoff win against the Chargers. And the quarterback was Philip Rivers. And the king's name is Charlie or Charles Philip. And Philip is known for a term that means friend of horses. So it's
Hmm.
very powerful.
Interesting.
Yes.
Interesting. Also, something I've noticed here is so I expect the market to, pivot to the downside in mid May,
Okay.
um, as potentially, the final pivot until, I mean, we'll probably see some ups and downs between now and then. But in terms of macro trend, I'm thinking mid May till the end of May will be a bearish trend. And I'm thinking that, this will probably be triggered by the quarter moon on May 12th.
Correct.
And we have a void, of course, at around 11:15 p.m. and it's a trine. It's a trine to Jupiter. Now the moon is in Aquarius at that time, and usually that means that, you know the masses, um, the society as a whole. So, sort of like all of us, collective consciousness, will be at a high. Um, and it's going to be trining Jupiter, which is going to expand this energy. So I would expect some kind of, potentially positive aspect around that time, a peak of some sort, unexpected, perhaps.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I'm expecting mid May too to, like you're saying, possibly
right.
sell off.
But whatever happens on that day won't be changed until, let's see, 3 days later. What is that? One, two, three. So the 15th. Yeah. So the 15th. Um, so I expect perhaps like a double peak, on the 12th and the 15th. Let's see what the 15th looks like. And that's a Friday. So the 15th is a Monday.
Yeah.
I'm
16th of
looking.
Tuesday. That's when we're supposed to. Yeah.
And we have Uranus, and then the moon will now be in Taurus, trining Uranus in Aquarius. And so
Huh.
that's at 4:29 a.m. And so to me, that's perhaps around the time when we might get the next peak. And then, yeah, and then you have Mars in Cancer, which is not comfortable, position. And that's trining um, Neptune in Aquarius at 9:45 a.m. So I believe that could be probably when New York Open comes in, tries to stop hunt anybody who probably went short, in the morning, um, and then by going up a little higher and then reversing things back down because then the moon is in a square um, by 7:42 p.m. So yeah, I think we're gonna see some volatility on those 2 days for sure.
Right. What do you got to say about Mercury retrograde right here? This chart I've got pulled up right here. We know it's famous with our community in Jordan. But I've kind of carbon copied my own and been following it as well. And we're still in it until the 14th, which is Mother's Day, or May is really the third month. The 14th day, so it's really 314 or Pi Day. Um, so what can you maybe say about that, since you're talking about astrology and connecting the markets to it? Maybe it's
Well,
the midpoint of the month that you're talking about.
well, yeah, I mean, as we've seen from the work of Waters Above, we understand based on some of his videos analyzing Mercury retrograde that when we are in Mercury retrograde, we tend to go on an upwards movement towards the end of the retrograde, and then we tend to, reverse. So what's interesting is we do have that reversal sort of expected, between the 12th and the 15th, and on Sunday the 14th we have a moon void, of course. So, and the moon will be conjuncting Neptune both in Pisces at 7:56 p.m. when the void, of course, will happen. So, uh,
I'm
some
just
people,
laughing because every time you say it, I think of 223 now. I'm never gonna
yeah,
think of anything different.
exactly. Um, and and the gematria for eclipse on Mercury retrograde is 312, which is the 123, which is
Hmm.
the you know uh it's, if you add them, it's still 3 3, and if you add them, it's still 6. So then in reduction is 141, which is also another 6. Yeah, so I just put eclipse on Mercury retrograde.
Wait.
And
Whoops.
right, and then as a reverse reduction is 147, which is another really important number. If you look at the prime for 147, is 3 times 7 square, and we know 7 square is 49, so it's 3 times powerful.
Huh.
Yeah, yeah, like so no, you
That's
have to
the
write eclipse on Mercury retrograde.
oh. Okay. So just put on in there,
Yeah,
and then I get the 312
right, yeah,
because it doesn't
and the
matter how I write it.
147. And if you click on 147 to give you the prime, just click on the number. Yeah, there you go. I mean, you know
It's the 223 octal.
yep.
Stop playing with me, D.
Sorry. I'm
No, you're
sorry for
fine. I
those,
love this number. I love making these connections. That's what my channel
and
is
the
based
divisors. I
on.
mean, look at the divisors: 137, 21,
Oh
47. Like,
yeah.
really, bro? Like, come on. And then you have, the 103, which is still 13.
Yeah, and the
You have the
27th prime.
327, which is this, it's like, 3 power, the 27.
Right.
I mean, we can go on and on about this number, but yeah.
We can. I mean, this 147 alone, it goes back to my work. What do I share in my pioneers? I tell them that here is wisdom that you're sharing. 147. I forgot that. Yes, but here's wisdom. 147. I really believe that. So most people say it's conspiracy, though.
Yeah.
In a sense, saying when I spell it correctly, 47, 147. That 123 or the 1312 that you were talking about. But that 123 or 312 is tying us into us, mankind again, or the Ouroboros, the perfect circle, the 365 days a year, or the 24 hours in a day, the full loop, the Lion King, But it's tying us into Ouroboros.
Oh, Duke is backstage, he says.
Uh-uh, don't lie.
Do
I'm
you
going to
see
get him right
him?
now. 123. I'm going to get him right now.
Okay.
I've been waiting on him to come in. Come on in, Duke.
What's
Doobie.
up? Thanks
Hey,
for
hey,
having me.
brother. How are
What's
you? Hey, man. Thank you for
up?
coming, brother. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, thanks for having
We're
me.
we're 13 minutes away from the kickoff of the Derby. Just waiting to I should have Peacock ready right here. Oh, I gotta sign back
Beautiful.
in. But yeah, I should be able to. Okay, view it. It should be on Peacock, is what I saw on the internet. But we should be able to live stream it and check out if we're right on who wins. Huh. All right, let me try that again.
Right
But yeah.
on. I did place a bet already on Cyclone Mischief.
Oh yeah. Do you
Yeah,
like that?
yeah.
You see any of the decode?
Yeah, I saw Rebecca's decode on it, and it
Oh,
lined up with
Rebecca.
my Joplin, Missouri storm tornado, and she just saw that, and so I like the name, so
Right.
number 21, I threw $88 down on it.
Yeah.
Oh
I
wait, no,
was
I did
paying attention.
$117.
I was paying attention to that number 21 connection too. Tying us into Saturn 21 or every NBA team tonight. If you notice, no matter what happens, the games are going to end with somebody leading 2-1. You know, Peyton Manning, he played for two horse themed teams, and today's the Kentucky Derby. It's all about horses today. Um, and anyways,
Beautiful.
yeah, it's just like I don't know, man. With my decode, I was getting Cyclone Mischief because I totally just lost track of what I was doing when this popped
Oh,
up.
you picked Cyclone Mischief too?
Yeah, well, that's my number.
That's
That's my
awesome.
number one bet. Like I got four horses for the four horsemen of the apocalypse. Correct. Normandy Day, the Franklin D-Day, Roosevelt. This is Derby Day, Derby Day, Britons call it. Um, so I was making tons of connections, but Cyclone Mischief because we're in tornado season and the Louisville Bats, AAA team for Louisville plays the Omaha Cyclones and Storm Chasers today. So
Okay.
tornado season. The
Yeah.
Carolina Hurricanes, when I was doing this decode last night, were running rampant, and they got the red, black, and white, like the Chiefs or like Georgia Bulldogs or like San Diego State, who made it all the way but lost to, well, Connecticut, Yale University in Connecticut, which is Skull and Bones, and the red, black, and white on the Yale crest in the
Oh,
223
nice.
year, tying us into the world's first banks, the Knights Templar. In Louisville, right before 2 months ago, this event kicked off on 3/6 today because May is really the third month of the year, or internationally written 6/3. The first name in this article is a 63-year-old. But this was a bank shooting. There was a bank shooting on the Ohio Bank River right outside uh, the home field of the Louisville Bats. And it's like, okay, we
Oh,
just came
wow.
out of a 3-year hiatus around what they said was bats. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
it's like, and I don't know. I'm just making all these profound connections to this number 21. Like I was saying, Peyton Manning retired in 2021, so he was two horse-based teams, Broncos and Colts, won both of them. And anyway, so Cyclone Mischief was Cyclone Mischief, like number 21. Every NBA team tonight wins no matter what, ending the series 2-1 from my
Yeah.
research. So
And you got to
I was
think
just
the 21 blackjack winner
right,
chicken dinner. Well, it's a
correct,
dead chicken, and the chicken is opposite of the rabbit. We're in the year of the rabbit.
right, correct. Yeah, it's just powerful. I don't know.
Yeah,
And
it's
this
great.
Cyclone Mischief,
What's
you
that
got
bet? That bet you got there? That
yeah,
you were that
$20 for 800,
yeah. I
reincarnate
want in on
$10
that.
for 200.
I didn't see I didn't see
Yeah,
those
I just went
options.
to Bovada. I go to Bovada. That's where I do it. And you still
That's where I
got to
went.
nine.
I've signed
Okay,
up.
okay. I just went to Kentucky Derby fixed odds, and then it shows top eight finish. Um, yeah, to
One
win
sec.
is what it. No, I did it to win.
Get logged in here. I've only did it on my mobile.
Yeah, I clicked the winner, not top eight finish. Maybe I got to scroll down. Yeah, right here. Um, and then I clicked on reincarnate, cyclone mischief, tap it twice, and
Oh, you're doing a pick six or
no,
pick.
no, no, no. I'm just doing. These are all separate bets. These are all separate
Okay.
bets. I just put
Okay.
different. Like either way, if I win, three are losing, or all four are losing, 1 to 2, because I might not. None of these horses might not win. So, but yeah, Sun Thunder was my fourth one, and these are all based on numerology as well. Because Cyclone Mischief, I was sharing with D Vortex before you came on, gave us 149 in the 149th Kentucky Derby. It gave us the 76 we get in Skull and Bones and the 322 today, because today is the 223rd day of the Jewish Hebrew New Year, dating back to last year, and the Rosh Hashanah start in September 25th. So it's like undeniable. I'm going with Cyclone Mischief. Right after the Hurricanes won last night, during tornado season, getting ready to head into hurricane season this year. Um, she was showing us the moon void, of course, which the moon void, of course, which is astrology based to everything we're seeing right now, turmoil wise, and in the markets or rituals on the world stage. If you look at the 2 hour time frame, Bitcoin's just in a perpetual downtrend. We love it. Uh, was able to short Pepe today and already make $20. So cool.
Sweet.
Yeah. I mean, I'm down too, so $18 right now, but I do have another short I just opened a second ago, and I mean,
So
I'm breaking
I'm
even
trying.
still.
I'm trying to place this bet here. I don't
Yeah, go
see
ahead.
what you were looking at. Go back to. Do you mind
Bovada.
showing me one more time? I'm on Bovada.
Nah.
I'm logged in now.
Yeah. I went to Kentucky Derby fixed odds,
Okay.
and then
just trying to find
earlier it was right up top for me. Now I had to scroll all the way down and find it right here for winner. I'm just looking for winner.
that. Okay. Winner. All right. Sweet. Cyclone Mischief. All right. Bet. Sweet.
You got it?
Yeah. I've already placed a big bet and now I only have 80. And I have to deposit more money.
Right. Yeah. But you got 6 minutes,
That's
so
good. I used your referral, so you
Oh,
should get
you
some.
did?
Yeah, you should get some dough off of that.
Yeah, I should. I guess if that's how it works, I don't know. It doesn't have it up there right now. But I'm sure it probably takes time or something. I'm not too worried
Yeah,
about that. I just wanted to give you guys what I was seeing and my potential four horsemen of the race today, and I wanted to try and come on here do a decode, a little bit better than the one I did last night because I left out a few things, and just watch it live. Just mute the sound so maybe I don't get hit with nothing, and just talk over it. And see if our horses win. um,
yeah.
but yeah, D, did you get into? You didn't bet?
I'm not a better.
Yeah, I'm not neither.
But
But when I see things like this, I try and take
yeah,
advantage.
I might
Small gamble.
I might have to learn how to at some point because you guys have been spot on, and I know you guys have made some money in the past. So I might have to like jump in the bandwagon. But yeah, no, I'm not. I mean, you know, I have so many things going on at this time in terms of travel and etc. So I'm kind of not on the screen as much anymore, which is why I'm
Right.
not sharing a chart these days. I haven't been charting, but um, going back
Mm.
to what we were talking about previously, again, we have another void, of course, on Wednesday the 10th, and this one is
May
a
10th.
square, yeah, and this one is a square at 7:52 p.m. So when the Asia session opens, I would be looking for some volatility on that day as well. So might want to make note of that.
April 10th. And you said what time? I got the note right here for April 10th. I just need to know what time.
I would say around 7:52 p.m.
Okay. 7:52. Got it wrote down. Thank you, D.
Yeah, and we
May
also
10th.
have a conjunction on so the moon conjunct Saturn, um, and it enters Aries. So that's on Saturday the 13th. Um,
Oh,
and, and that's
that's the
that's
real
not
313 date.
yeah,
3113 backwards.
right. So if I had to guess, based on astrology, and I would say I expect a peak on that void, of course, on May 12th, then the bottom of the M perhaps on the 13th, as I mentioned, when the moon conjuncts Saturn. And that happens at 11:12 a.m., of course, 112, right? Um,
Right.
And then if I expect another peak, I would expect perhaps that peak on the 14th. And then perhaps then sort of some consolidation on the top until the 15th. And then I expect probably a descent at that point. Probably starting from the New York Open till the end of the day at close time.
Huh. Nice. I'm gonna have to rewatch this and make sure I got all these notes correct.
Yeah.
Because I've just been like looking to the side, jotting them down. I got my papers everywhere. Y'all know me.
Yeah, of course. It's hard to take notes, run the stream, and
Yeah. Trade
also
at the same time. Get ready to
trade at
watch
the
the
same
time for the Kentucky Derby if we can see if we can stream it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
Let's see here.
I'm always multitasking like that, trying to, um, stack the brain. See, horse racing. Oh man, don't do it to me. Don't tell me we can
Oh
do it.
no. You can see it live. Say what?
Hopefully,
Starting
hopefully,
in 1 minute. Oh snap.
just a little treat. I don't do things like this usually. It's rituals, and I already signed in. I thought I already put my card in and everything. That's why I was late to the live for a few minutes, and it was silent for 20 minutes. I was in the background with my phone, setting up the decode and everything, getting the screens ready so I can fast click through everything and present it and set up my peacock. This was already ready, I thought.
I just did a $23 bet on King Russell. It's got a plus 5,000 odds. And Gamache equals 33 in Chaldean and 56 in keypad. Today's
anything
5-6.
with the word king today will probably do well.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Let's see. Do we have
I
another?
think so.
Yeah, we got King's Barn. Did you place anything on him?
No. I saw a lot of people going for that one. Not King Russell, but Lord Miles before he was scratched. A lot of people were going for that one as well. I saw. So I didn't.
Okay.
I didn't play with those. The reason
This is
I
number
went with
23, and I had $23 left, and yeah, so I just
right.
Universe said, "Do it."
The reason I went with Cyclone Mischief was because they were the first pick in after someone dropped out, and the owner's last name is Romans, so tying us into the Romans and the Roman god Neptune, which is the god of horse racing, and so.
Oh really?
So yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Chariot racing and stuff.
Yeah. So I'm going with the Romans, bro. And this is the number 21 horse basically coming from like 23, you're saying, from the outside, having to cut off every horse to get there. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see what happens. Hopefully it lets us watch it. If not, it's cool. We'll see who wins in a few minutes. I mean, I'm sure it won't last long. It's the fastest, shortest race ever ran was 159 when 149th Kentucky Derby. So maybe they run 149 a minute and 49 seconds a day. So yeah, that'd be crazy.
This is off the first race.
Yeah, it's the 12 o'clock race. Yeah, that's the Kentucky Derby. May 6th, noon.
This is the first time I've ever done horse race betting.
Okay, we gotta close my short, you guys, because I can't have 2 hours. We'll pause this. Just disconnect it. How about that? But I can't view this with my ad blocker or my VPN. It looks like I can't even. Huh.
Try to reload the page.
Refresh it.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because I had the VPN on.
Let me look on mine, see if it's
Yeah, because you can definitely share your screen if it's working.
Let's see here.
Oh, Forte scratched. A lot of people were going for Forte, and that's why I went against Forte, not betting with Forte.
Yeah, because you knew better than to jump in the bandwagon when it's
Yeah,
like,
everything popular is usually wrong.
yeah.
I don't know what's going on here. That's crazy. I'll end that subscription today that I just paid for. If it don't work. Probably do that anyway. That's the only reason why I'm watching it. It's crazy. I'm gonna try and pull it up in a new tab real quick. See if that works. I know I might have some problems with this. I never used this platform or anything.
Well, as long as you don't have a VPN on, it should work fine.
Right.
Also try.
I don't have any of these, so.
Also try Opera when it's not working. Opera, it's like really good in terms of like playing content without any hangups.
Opera?
Yeah.
Yeah, I never heard of it.
Yeah, that's what I used to do. Join the live streams and stuff like that because it just doesn't bother me with pop-ups or.
I said Opera. Oh, I gotta download it.
You might have to, yeah.
Yeah, it shouldn't take long. Yeah, my computer is pretty quick with these things. Wonder if I can go ahead and browse anyway. Oh, so it's like Chrome?
It's just a browser. Yeah, it's kind of like Chrome, but no attachments to Google.
Huh.
So it just runs smoother and gives you less issues when it comes to media. So usually in a stream or whatever, using that, it's good. It's good to just run stuff without having problems or pop-ups or whatever.
Wicked Halo. Can y'all see this screen that I'm playing with and typing on?
No, we still just see your regular browser.
Okay. Yeah, because I tried it on this one and it's just saying something's wrong, dismiss. What I'll do is exit this and then I'll have to go to right here, stop sharing my screen, and now present again, share screen, and I think change to the Opera entire screen. Gotta do entire screen with sound, right?
Yeah, it might be a pain to set up right now, but in the future you can just do all that you have to do ahead of time and then it will work for you better.
Could you see it then when I tried and it dismissed it?
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with it. Why we're not? We'll at least be able to hear it, hear them like a radio. like a
Going
real
back to the
podcast.
1920s.
Yeah, I don't mind. I mean, I'm pen and paper everything. I hate the phone. I like to live in death to the bots. I'll behave. Oh Lord, let us.
Get it? I
Number
got
5.
sound.
Number 5. You got sound?
I hear it. I don't see it.
Hot and sultry. Wow. This is so comical. This is so Mercury retrograde right now. It's not even funny.
I know. Just it was what I was telling somebody yesterday.
It went off
Abraham.
now.
Oh my gosh.
It's crazy. That is crazy.
You can't make this shit up, guys. You can't make this shit up.
I could see it, and now I can't. It's because I'm sharing the screen, you guys. That's what it is. Once I stop sharing.
Oh, those bastards.
Yeah.
Smart cookies.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
number 5 was in the lead, and that's the number.
Oprah.
That's tap it twice.
In Oprah, you don't. It doesn't prevent you from sharing the screen. That's what I'm saying. But just so you know, for the future or whatever, just if you can get that to work at some point, you can use it.
Welcome to Abraham's Sportscasting.
This is not betting, financial, or gambling advice. This is a educational, inspirational decode.
Exactly.
Yeah, now it's glitching on me.
So is it running?
Yeah, it was running before I started sharing the screen again, so y'all could see it, and then now it's just glitching and stuff. So I've just been listening, but number 5 was in the lead, and that was tap it twice, if I'm not mistaken, and that was one of my bets. I think it's my lowest one, so I might only win like $16, but but yeah.
I only bet on, let's see, Reincarnate, Cyclone Chief, and King Russell.
Let's see. We'll refresh this. Wow. I have a playable balance of 200. That's because you deposited.
Nice.
I probably won't be able to withdraw off of that until I gain a certain amount. But I don't think I won. I don't think none of my horses won. My 4 horsemen. Let's look it up. Who won the Kentucky Derby? Derby Day. Kentucky Fried Derby.
It still shows I have open bets.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, it did me too. Angel of Empire. I knew it.
Angel of Empire won? Damn.
Mataraya or Angel of Empire? One of the two. I don't remember a Mataraya. Unless it was a
Mandarin Hero?
Mandarin Hero, maybe. But yeah, it's not showing me yet who won the Derby today. Already got images. 2023 leaderboard. Oh, this is leaderboard. Yeah, it's still showing. Still showing bets. Angel of Empire. I don't know. I didn't quite catch it. And it's not showing, obviously. 149, you guys. That's why I was going with Cyclone Mischief, because it equals 149 on the 149th. Can't find it. What are y'all seeing? Still seeing open bets?
I'm trying to look it up.
Yeah. Are you sharing your screen?
Still says open bets.
Because I'm not seeing anything.
No, you're not seeing anything.
Well, I'm seeing us, like, but
Yeah,
I'm
no
not.
one's sharing the screen
Oh,
right now.
okay. Just making
Oh,
sure.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I didn't even know it stopped sharing my screen. Oh yeah, I did while we were watching. Yeah, but yeah, I'm still getting open bets too. I don't know. I mean, I thought it was the first race, to be honest. Are there miniature races leading up to the
There's
main?
12 races or
Right.
14 races.
Oh, our bets are race 12.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I looked it up and placed the bets, like I thought they had to be in before 12. And it
Mm,
started. I knew it started at 12, but yeah. So we might, yeah, we might not actually be here. I mean, this thing runs for like 7.5 hours. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't
yeah.
plan on staying here like that.
Yeah. Me either.
Like, if I come
I'm
back
hungry.
on, yeah, if I come back on, it'll be a part two to the Derby Decode later if I figure out how to view it. But I don't
See
even
if
know
you,
that I'll be able
well,
to.
you might have time to place more bets on that $200 you just got off of me.
Oh, man, that's a good idea. I might have to do some
Uh
more decoding and research behind
huh.
these horses
Take some
because,
time. I'm about to have to
yeah,
go make some lunch. I'm starving.
yeah, I'm about to go meet my mom. I was just coming on for, to run through 12 o'clock in the first race because I thought it was this, the
Yeah.
Derby. I
Well,
don't watch
sorry,
it enough.
I'm late to the show.
Oh, you straight, you straight. I
I
got what I needed to out. You know what I'm saying? I hung out, put my word out, talked about
right
my
on.
bet and the four horsemen. Hung out with D, talked about
Nice.
the market.
Did you
So
talk about the four horses that were killed or died?
I
What?
didn't, but I was gonna bring that up, but I didn't know their names or nothing. I kept getting mixed information on the articles and things, and I couldn't figure out how to add it to my decode and find a consistent way to go with it. To be honest, other than the fact that Peyton Manning, the 44 connection, all that I could have easily added it in there, but I just didn't know if it had made sense.
Right
But yeah,
on.
four horsemen, four died leading into
Yeah.
this Kentucky Derby. I think there's a connection
Oh, for
for
sure. For
sure,
sure.
for sure. Would love to know what you think about it sometime.
I'm still trying to process it. Just got off of a 13-hour road trip yesterday, and I had to unpack, like, all my computer stuff was in my car, so I had to unpack it and get it set up. And
Yeah, I remember you saying earlier in the week that this weekend was rough for you. So
yeah,
I'm surprised you made it. Thank you.
yeah, no problem, man. Uh, I'm starving though. I need to get off
Yeah,
here and go eat something.
yeah. I'm
If
I'm
you
about to
are
go
still
meet my mom.
if you are still on here, if you want later,
Yeah, I might come
Well,
back on.
yeah, we
I,
can come back on another time as well. I also should be heading out as well.
yeah, we can totally find out who the winner is and do a little post run decode.
awesome, awesome. Not a problem. Well then, I'll stay in touch with you guys. Have a good day.
Cool,
And
man.
take care. Good luck on everything.
Thanks, brother. Talk to you
All
later.
right,
See
not a
you.
problem.
Yeah, it
All
was
right,
good that he came by. I love his decodes as well. Too
thank you,
bad
D.
he's on the road right now.
I know.
I'm gonna be
Yeah,
on the road myself pretty soon, so it's
yeah.
like,
You and me both. I mean, I ain't got to go as far as you, but yeah,
right, right.
yeah. I still got a
But
lot to take care of before I can then go though. So
right, exactly. But this is really good stuff. I will definitely maybe look at more information for us for the next call, and then we can discuss some of that because there's more stuff to come on the week of May 19th as well. And of course, that's a new moon. So it's, it's in, there's a Kasimi on that day. And, it's going to be one of those things that, um, you know, that you want to know, like, you want to pay attention because usually, during a Kasimi, it could potentially deviate the typical aspect of that particular moon. So, um, Kasimi is like good luck and opportunity.
right,
And, in terms of astrology, we're looking at the power of the sun and how influential that is in terms of you know, in terms of its effects on that planet or on in the moon in this case. So yeah, it would be interesting to see to see when the last Cassini was, and and see what happened when we had an eclipse just days days prior. So we should look at the last Cassini after the last eclipse that we had.
Yeah, will you send me a text after we get off here of how to spell that so I can decode that as well? That word,
Cassini is
Kissimmee.
sorry, C as in Charles, A, Z as in zebra, I. So Kazimi.
CZ.
Yeah, it's Cazimi. Yeah,
See me.
yeah. And there's a 30-year
38.
reduction. But it's supposed to be a positive event. So, you know, yeah.
Hmm.
So Cassimi, which can only happen at the time of a new moon, is good to use if you want something really to succeed. Um, it's one of the highest forms of good luck, and as far as time frame goes, Cassini moon is in effect for about half an hour before the conjunction of the sun, and
Hmm.
half hour after. So, if you want to look at when it happens, so the moon, um, it will be at 11:53 a.m. and it's on a Friday. So if you want to, look at the market and see what aspects, uh, what setups are telling you at that time, potentially, I think that's going to be a time for, if let's say if the trend was down, perhaps that could be a pivot point up on that particular time of the day at noon, which kind of makes sense because the New York Exchange likes to do things between usually either right before the open around 7 something, 8 something, or at 10 something, or noon. So um, those times around those times there's usually a lot of volatility in the market once the New York opens. So I wouldn't be surprised to see something happening around that time as well. But we can go over that in more detail in the next meeting.
Okay, great. Well, I appreciate you coming out, and I don't want to hold up too much of your time. I know you got priorities and things to take
No,
care of,
it's all
but I
good. I'm
appreciate you
glad that
being here.
I was able to come in and chill with you for a bit. I know I haven't been able to in the past, and I'm excited to maybe try this again in the future.
Awesome. Yeah, me too. Thank you, D. I really appreciate it. You have a
Of
blessed rest of
course,
your day.
of course, my friend, enjoy.
Yes, I will. Thank you.
And much love to everyone out there who
Thank
is
you.
supporting
Thank you.
you and benefiting from this magical time.
Oh, well, I appreciate it. That's very humbling. Makes my day.
I love you, my man.
Love you too, D. Have a
Take
blessed one.
care.
Yes, you too.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. All right, everyone. So that's it so far for the Kentucky Derby race today. I thought we was going to be able to view it live, but it looks like the internet's going to give us some problems with that. So good luck to your horse races today and whoever you think may win. Friendly wagers. Don't let it be something serious. This is not gambling, financial investing, advice at all. This is entertainment and educational purposes only to show you that the world is a stage and everything is planned out through major ritual energies, harvesting events that we see on the world stage. Um, so hopefully this decode has been very educational and informative to you. And if you like it, then hit the like, comment, and share comment button down below. Get this out to more high vibrational conscious individuals and beings. If you'd like to follow us in the Pioneer Academy and Discord at the Daily Kennel Close News, then leave a comment down below and we'll get back to you and show you how to get a lifetime access with a one-time purchase of $2.23 in the 223 year. Turn us into Skull and Bones 322. Let the numbers work for us. So with all that being said, we'll get off of here. Take care. Best of luck to everyone on Derby Day, D-Day. God bless. Pioneers rise. Build your fortress and build your legacy.